Woman explains why 8-hour workday and 40-hour work week are obsolete. There's probably the video's probably on the very bottom. Yep, there it is. So it's the oh no, I gotta hear it.
I can to address the 40-hour work week. Ford established the 8-hour workday in the early 1900s. He established 8 hours work, 8 hours rest, 8 hours sleep, and then start that over again. We went wrong in two places. The first is that Ford worked in manufacturing, which means somebody standing somewhere for 8 hours doing approximately the same task does yield a certain amount of productivity. We rolled over this 8-hour framework into industries where it just does not make sense. There are so many industries that are project-based where you don't need 8 hours, and by just having someone keep themselves busy for 8 hours, you're losing so much productivity. The second reason this framework...
You're losing so much productivity if someone works 8 hours. So that's for the company to figure out how to keep people productive then. But then what do you want them to do? Give you less hours back? You could really do this job. Instead of 8 hours a day, it's 5 hours a day. But don't expect them to give you the same pay. They're going to pay you accordingly.
Is tragically outdated is that this was created in a time where wives stayed home to keep a lot of the household together, where there were no super commuters commuting hours each day to get to work. There was no technology bringing work home with us. Work was created by one man in one industry 100 years ago, and we have not improved it. Every industry needs to do some critical thinking and figure out what framework works best for.
Like, okay, you highlighted the problem, if it is a problem. I would like to hear I was hoping that there'd be some suggestions of like how to improve this, where it benefits both the employer and the employee. Of like, okay, I don't know, if we were to reduce hours but to get the same output, you deserve the same compensation, right? So 7 hours a day, get 32 hours, but if you get the same productivity and you'll still get paid as if it was 40 hours, something like that. But there was no ideas, right? I mean, I guess that's what my generation, the younger generation does, right? They tell you what the problem is, but they have zero solution. And whoever can figure it out is going to get rich. That'd be great. But that's a huge culture shock, right? We are so accustomed to 40 hours a week. This is our path dependency. Any more work, sure, you deserve overtime, but unless your salary, right, then you don't get overtime, you get the same pay. But if you work less than 40 hours, you're going to get paid less for sure. But I was open to any innovation, any ideas, sure. It'd be great, but, I'm not convinced. Let's see what the comments have to say. A lot of industries such as manufacturing and construction are based on the 8-hour by 5-day schedule. The thing is, these workers like to drag around and be non-productive so they can get overtime. They wind up working 50 plus hours a week, but productivity-wise, they're only doing 30 hours of work. I mean, that's someone's opinion. Sure, I could see some truth in this, that some people skate by. And, like 40 hours a week, they're really just pushing 30 hours of actual real productivity. Maybe they get overtime because, employers looking for overtime. Yeah, like I get it, right? And we all know those people. But like productivity really falls on the management of how they can get the most productivity out of you. Oh, otherwise they're going to be obligated to pay you that 40 hours no matter what. Being there 40 hours does not always mean you got 40 hours of actual productivity out of someone, but you still had to pay them 40 hours, right? So this person named Sandy Talbot, she explains that she is lazy and doesn't want to work the 8 hours a day that she was hired to do. If that's how you want to infer it, okay. As others have said, become a contractor and get paid by the project, but don't expect to have any benefits such as vacation pay, health insurance, etc. Contractors generally do not receive these benefits. There's some truth to that. I've worked as a contractor before, but I worked for a contracting company. So we worked for another bigger agency because they needed people, but they weren't going to directly hire people. So they only needed contractors for a project. So with my contracting firm that I worked for, they gave me benefits. But you could be a contractor on your own as well. Doing consulting work or whatever skills that it is. That you could be this one-man show. You can do it in trades as well. That's where you can, you get paid however you want to get paid, how much hours you're willing to put in, and the benefits. I mean, you get your own insurance or not pay for insurance, right? Up to you. Totally up to you. You have that freedom to do that. I know in our country we're having more contractors, right? especially like, DoorDashes, Uber Eats, Uber drivers, stuff like that. They're contractors, but the more hours they put in, the more money they'll get. That's the outcome. But the fewer hours, less pay they'll get. But it's not like certain jobs where there's guaranteed 40 hours and then you put in the bare minimum but still get paid the same. And we've all been there where we worked 40 hours. You actually put in, like, say you actually put in the 40 hours of actual productivity, but your coworker put in really 30 hours, but you both get paid the same, right? Now, some people would say you'll probably get promoted, and that's true in some companies. Other organizations just don't care. They just want to get those people in, and that's enough productivity. They don't care. Think as long as the work gets done, they're happy. But it also sucks when you knock out 6 hours of work and you get rewarded with more work, and you don't get recognized for it. That also sucks. Person up here named Open Discussion. If you don't like an 8-hour day and your employer wants it, find another job or a career where that is the norm. That'd be hard, but maybe they're out there. I don't get why people think business owners should simply meet all employee demands. There's a good point there. The employer has zero obligation to really just give you everything that you require. The employer says, this is what the job requires. You get paid accordingly, 40 hours a week, or these are the hours. Do you agree or not agree? If you agree, there you go. You agree to those terms and conditions. The employee does not have that much control, honestly. If you don't like it, the only control you have is to quit. Go somewhere else. Maybe you just get the experience and you move on. But you can't just go to your employer where you have no ownership in the company and start making demands. You can negotiate for a better pay. Yes, you may. And if you don't get what you want, you can either stay or you can leave. Those are your options. So I'm going to leave it to that. I mean, this article was not very effective, unless I'm missing something. I really want to know what you guys have to say, so please comment below. I do read them. And leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Until then, see you guys next time. Bye.